Welcome everyone to a new program here on Sportsnet. My name is Arash Madani. This is the first in a 6-part series called Athlete2Athlete. We're gathering some of our country's top high-performance stars in association with the Canadian Olympic Committee. And these competitors will tell us their stories of life during the pandemic and how they're adjusting with the postponement of the Tokyo 2020 Summer Olympic Games. We begin episode 1 by connecting two friends who had not been in touch for quite some time until they visited virtually earlier this month. To even the casual sports fan in this country, Rosie MacLennan needs no introduction. After winning a gold medal at London 2012, she became the first Canadian athlete to successfully defend a Summer Olympic title 4 years later in Rio. At those same 2016 games, Stephanie Labbe was the starting goalkeeper for the national soccer team that captured bronze there, and her professional career has taken her all over the world. Over the years, Labbe has been quite open about dealing with depression and that she is in a relationship with multi-sport athlete Georgia Simmerlin. Labbe and MacLennan had plenty to catch up on when chatting Athlete2Athlete.
How's it going?
Oh my gosh, great whirlwind for sure. But yeah, craziness. I'm like one of the fortunate people that are like semi back to, I mean, I don't want to say reality, but like a little bit closer to reality for my life.
Yeah, after what, like 3 months at home in Calgary with Georgia, you're back in the States with your team?
Yes. Yeah. For 3 months at home, that literally never happens. That was like, I mean, for me, I'm like, that was actually kind of a dream.
How did you find the transition, like from training intensively to all of a sudden everything stops to working out and training like at home with Georgia and then transitioning all the way back?
Yeah, it was like a whirlwind. I would say physically, I've been pretty fortunate in my career to be like healthy and to have a good sense of my body and to be able to recover from things quicker. And so I think I've been super fortunate in that sense where my body was able to adapt to the highs and lows of the training intensities and the change of not necessarily always going to the gym, but working out at home and that stuff. For me, I felt really bad, guilty, had all of these kind of negative feelings around like not playing soccer. I like kept joking around that I'm like the worst professional soccer player because I actually don't own a soccer ball back home in Calgary. So I literally wasn't training with a soccer ball for the longest time until finally I was like begged one of the coaches from a club to like give me a few soccer balls so I could do something with them. I'm curious for you. I mean, number one, this is just random, but do you own a trampoline? Like, do you have a trampoline in your backyard?
I don't have a backyard. We have a deck that's falling into a ravine and very unsafe. But
Okay.
No, we don't. I don't have a trampoline here. I wish.
Okay.
But I did borrow like the squat rack and all the plates and stuff like that for the trampoline gym. So in our living room, we have beautiful new art in the form of a squat rack.
Nice.
Which we've actually grown really accustomed to. And if you had asked me before the pandemic if I'd ever consider putting a squat rack in my living room, I would have said no. But now it's like, I don't know how I lived without this. Have you had to kind of step up some of your mental health practices, or like how are you doing on that front?
Yeah, I'll throw this back to you after because you had a you had a little bit of a different experience. But for me, as an athlete, like right around the time when the COC and the Athletes Commission, when you guys were making that decision of pulling out of the Olympics, that was a big challenge to get through. Georgia and I, like, probably for about 2 weeks after that initial decision, we definitely started feeling the weight of it and the emotions on it. We had a lot of conversations regarding, because both of us had plans to retire at the end of this year. And when you start asking all these questions and thinking about all the what ifs, or like, I can't believe this is happening, and like thinking, you know, the snowball, it kind of takes you outside of your body and you start just like, your head can go on and you can have these thoughts for so long. So I think meditation definitely helped like ground us and kind of bring us back to the present moment. And then we definitely started realizing we weren't getting any fresh air, and it was really starting to take a toll on our mental health in like a different way. So we kind of like started to create a routine based on things that like we really realized were affecting us. And so the meditation definitely helped. And then like a afternoon walk before dinner, just making sure we got outside, or if it was sitting in our backyard, you can probably attest, making the choice to do it is the hardest part. It's not actually doing it. It's like making the choice to do these things that are good for you. I think what we really like supported and leaned on each other for is like making sure that we did those things. But I'm interested with you, since you were like a part of all those conversations and kind of like feeling it like every moment, instead of, you know, for me, I kind of just like had the one shock. How was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, even that, it was really only a span of maybe 24 hours, like not even.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that much. It was different, I guess, in the sense that like we had background information, and the chief medical officer just shared all of this with us. And he's like, I think it was when he said like, I cannot ethically or responsibly ask athletes to train or compete in July. And I think it was just like, it became so clear what there wasn't really a choice in a way.
Yeah.
And so it just like, I think that having heard all that information helped understand the decision that was made ultimately. And it was like, oh, okay, now I have to like figure out how to do this next 14 months. I remember there was one day where I literally just went, we have a physical calendar, and I like erased the rest of the year. And it was such a weird feeling. And I just started like bawling. But I think it's the same with you. It's like that conscious decision and like commitment to start doing things that like make you feel like a bit more in control, like focusing on the aspects that you can control, and then also doing the things that you know help. How are you celebrating Pride Month?
By wearing my Pride shirt that says "Be Awesome."
I love that shirt. That's awesome.
Yeah. Honestly, like there's not a whole lot. Of course, going to Pride parades has always been fun. I got to go, I think it was 2 years ago, to the one in Ottawa. And I've been to a couple other ones, but those are not happening this year.
What do you think, I guess, the rest of the sport community can do to ensure that everyone's experience in that space is the same, positive, and feeling supported, and ensuring that people can just be exactly who they are and love who they love? And
I think number one, it's like create that safe space, like have open conversations about it, and make that safe space. And I think the biggest thing is speak up when I'm not there to speak up for myself, kind of thing. So it's like if there's conversations happening that shouldn't be, or if someone makes a comment that shouldn't be, like don't wait for like the gay girl to like tell them you can't say that. Like those types of things are hurtful. I think it's like stand up for us when we're not able to stand up for ourselves. And I think those actions and those conversations go a long way. And I think those things like start at home. Those conversations start in like your house with your family members, and then they trickle into conversations with friends and with teammates and coaches. And and I think the more that you can have those hard conversations like in the moment, it just creates more and more of a safe space.
Just like educating people about the language, and like even if it's not the intention of someone to say something hurtful, like they might not even realize that it's not necessarily about the intent. It's about like the perception and the reception of that like comment.
We thank Rosie and Stephanie for their time and insights. And it was MacLennan who expressed relief that for now, Tokyo 2020 will not be canceled and is a go in the summer of 2021. She said, "We want to compete. We want to show what we're capable of." This was only the first of 6 shows in our Athlete2Athlete series. In the weeks to come, we will visit with many recognizable stars, including Canadian Olympic legend Mark Tewksbury, Mikhail Kingsbury, who captured Canada's Athlete of the Year award in 2018, and Max Perot, whose journey since the medal podium in Pyeongchang 2 years ago has included so much adversity. We will see you soon in the next episode of Athlete2Athlete. I'm Arash Madani. Thank you for watching.